Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Modern, and today we're going to be playing for the very last day of this season for Battle Spot. Currently, we're just under 1700, so not really the best rating overall. It's decent, but it's not as high as I would have hoped, and especially with how little I have played over the past couple months. Like, it's obvious why my rating's low, because I haven't been playing that much. But, yeah, we're going to try our best to win these last two battles just to see how high we can get our rating for this last day. We're still going to be using the San Jose team, and after this, I'm going to be switching to a new team. Just as an FYI, because I don't want you guys to be, like, freaked out if I change, like, between a couple of teams within, like, if I change a team every single episode or something from here on out, just because I come up with a lot of different ideas for teams, and sometimes I just get bored with the team that I'm playing with. Like, the San Jose team, I like it, but there's just a lot of things wrong with it, and sometimes it's just not fun to play with. So, obviously, if I'm not having fun playing with it, I don't think it's as enjoyable to watch. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to be switching to a different team after this episode, is what I'm saying. And there might be a bunch of different there might be a bunch of different team changes depending on, like, if Pokebank comes out or when it comes out. And then just, like, if I come up with a new team idea or something. So this actually looks like something that I played previously on either another episode or maybe I played against it on Pokemon Showdown. But this is a pretty interesting team. They've got the Whimsicott for the Tailwind mode. If they're what I'm thinking they are, they're probably Life Orb, Lele, Z-Move, Xurkitree, bulky Arcanine, well, bulky offensive Arcanine, probably Z-Move Garchomp, and probably, like, Focus Sash on Nihilego. Maybe that's on Whimsicott, but I don't know. Raichu Tapu Koko is pretty solid against Whimsicott most of the time, just because you can Encore them into Tailwind. And then Tapu Koko can usually do good damage to their partner. Although, if they end up leading Tapu Lele, that might be a little bit concerning for me. So, from the looks of it, I think Raichu is definitely going to be a good pick here. Encore is very good. I'm going to bring Celesteela because even though it's weak to Xurkitree, I don't know. I think Celesteela, it's just really good against Whimsicott, Lele, and Chomp. Gonna bring Coco as well, and do I go Goodra or Lele? Probably gonna go Goodra here. Seems a little bit weird to bring Goodra given that they have, like, two fairy types and a dragon type, but Assault Vest is very, very good against Lele and Whimsicott, and then Garchomp really can't do too much to the rest of the team with... I mean, like, if they go for Earthquakes, yeah, that'll KO Raichu and Tapu Koko, but it can't really do too much to Celesteela, and it would have to take a turn to go for Dragon Claw onto Goodra. And if I predict that, like, if I switch into my Tapu Koko or something, I could get a lot of momentum out of that. Straight off the bat, my opponent's going to lead with the Arcanine and Whimsicott, so immediately giving us that huge threat straight off the bat. Arcanine's definitely a scary Pokemon to see here, but I might be able to take advantage of this situation. Oh, and I forgot, I don't have Encore on this set. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Crap. I mean, I guess I can go for a Psychic and a Heavy Slam into Whimsicott. There's a chance they might just Snarl with Arcanine. That's why I'm going for this play. Oh, and they go for Helping Hand. Okay, so this is not the team that I played before. That's probably going to knock out Arcanine. Or that's probably going to knock out Celesteela. And their eject button Whimsicott. Okay, this is definitely not what I played before. I mean, at least we know that their Nihilego's probably Focus Sash just because they had the item on that. This will probably knock out my Celesteela, though, which gives me a free switch-in. And this is going to do a lot of damage to them just because of recoil. So, at the very least, even though they pick up the knockout here, the free switch into Tapu Koko is really good. Gives me the terrain for Raichu. Yeah, and that did so much damage to Arcanine. Alright, so that was a big misplay at the beginning on my side of things. Because Because so I have a different version of this team where I have Encore on Raichu, and for some reason I thought that I had that. So we're off to a sort of saddening start. And now I'm scared that their Garchomp's like scarfed or something. In this position, they're probably going to predict me to attack in a Chomp. And unfortunately, that's what I'm going to go for. I mean, at the very least, I deal damage to Chomp through Protect if that's what they go for. And they actually withdraw Arcanine into Whimsicott. So hopefully they're not Scarf. If they're Scarf, I just forfeit here. Okay, so I actually went for a good play here. It was really a 50-50 on my side, but, like, even if they protected, that's what I was saying, is the next turn, like, I know that they can't KO my Pokemon with Arcanine, so at the very least I'd damage Garchomp through Protect, or I would deal a lot of damage to their switch-in, but they actually stayed in here. Oh, maybe they are Scarf Chomp, because I have the terrain. Okay, good. They're Assault Vest Garchomp. Okay, so I lost the game. That's basically what just happened, is I lost the game. Oh, I forgot, I'm Focus Sash Coco, though. Okay, and they KO'd their own Whimsicott, so that's actually really, really good for me. Such a weird team. It's just like I said in the past, though, like, it's best of one, and this team was not built for this meta very much, so, yeah, definitely, like, a lot of difficulties, I guess you could say, with using this team. Now, in this position, I've got a few potential plays. Goodra almost 100% attacks into Arcanine here. The question is what I do with Coco, though. If I protect, and he protects his Garchomp, then the Dragon Pulse is really, really good onto Arcanine. Oh, I forgot, Garchomp can't protect. So, if he switches out Garchomp, or if he protects Arcanine, is what I need to predict. If I can Dazzle into Chomp, predicting Arcanine to protect, that's really good. Oh, maybe he's Extreme Speed Arcanine too, so I'm actually going to play around that, I think. Yeah, so Protect is actually my best option, to at least scout for the Extreme Speed. And they do have it, so I need to crit a Dragon Pulse or I lose. And he does have Dragon Claw, so that's unfortunate for me. That's going to do a lot of damage. At the least I survive, but I need a critical hit here to win. Yeah, and that's not going to KO. Alrighty, so I'm just going to forfeit. Obviously, like, the the Assault Vest on Garchomp was a little bit much for the setup that I had, but there were a lot of things I weren't expecting from my opponent. I didn't expect Helping Hand from Whimsicott. I did, like, the eject button on their side actually made no sense, because in, like, any other position there, that was a bad play on their side. Because they would get switched out. Like, if they went for Tailwind and got switched out, that would make sense. But they didn't go for Tailwind, which is why I was confused. But yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about with, like, my team being weak to things in the meta. Just, like, it has very restricted answers for certain things. Like, Assault Vest Garchomp right there was just, I had no other option that turn. I went for the Z move, I went for Dazzle, and it didn't pick up the KO, so it KO'd my Raichu, KO'd my Coco, and that's basically why I lost, is, like, I didn't really have a solid answer to that combination. Or at least that Pokemon in general. Alright, we're going to find another player. They're going to be using a semi-standard looking team. They've got the Muk, Coco, and Araquanid combo, which, not really a combo, but a lot of people are using those three Mons on teams as of recent. Like, Paul Chua won the Georgia Regionals using those three on his team. But Weavile and Pheromosa are pretty interesting here because, for the most part, they sort of do the same thing. They, like, Weavile can KO the Psychic-type Trick Room setters, but Pheromosa KOs, like, all of them. Alright, so this is actually scary because Muk is very hard for our team to deal with, and he has a lot of answers to our Krookodile. I think Celesteela is going to be extremely important for winning this match, just because it can switch in on a lot of different attacks here. So let's see. I think Raichu Koko is just a safe lead on my side. I can't bring Tapu Lele, though. Alright, I think for my last two, I think I'm going to go for the exact same setup. Because really, like, if I bring Krookodile, he just has 4 Pokemon that really answer it, and that's a threat. Like, I can't allow myself to bring the Pokemon, like, even though it beats Muk, it just loses to everything else on his team. So, like, even though Intimidate would be good, I don't think it's worth bringing here. He's going to lead off with Pheromosa and Garchomp, so very, very scary combination here. Yet again, we don't know. This could be like Assault Vest Garchomp. This could be literally like anything on their side. Not to mention that my opponent has to make a 50-50 here. If I just attack into Pheromosa or something with Raichu, then they just go like immediately down. And like maybe if they have a Focus Sash, but like they just instantly go down with Pheromosa. So for this turn, I think I'm just going to play super aggressively again. I think I'm going to go for the Z-Psychic into Garchomp, and I think I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam with my Koko. Koko is Focus Sash, so if they go for Poison Jab, then that's good. They actually protect with Pheromosa, so hopefully not a Choice Scarf Garchomp here. If it is Choice Scarf, we have the out of critting this Shattered Psyche, which could be good. But otherwise, our Koko's going to go down to its Sash, and if their Pheromosa is Focus Sash, we actually just like instantly lose the game. Because we need to KO it in one turn with Celesteela or something. Now, if this combo actually KOs the Chomp, or if they're not Scarf, then I'm in a really good position. And they're not Scarf, so that's really good. Okay, so we're going to KO their Chomp. Big threat down. That's good. But they still have a lot of threatening Pokemon on their team. I'm expecting that they may, like, I don't know, they might not, okay, they have Muk. I was going to say, they might not have Koko in the back or something. If they have it, they're not going to bring it in here, though. Alright, so this is still, like, a super scary position, because they can just get a double knockout here. Or actually, no, they would have to poison Tapu Koko here. So I can just Psychic into Pheromosa and Dazzle, I think. Alright, and he's not Focus Sash, so that's also really good. The thing I was going to say is with Muk here, like, it's super threatening, but the Pokemon I have in the back beat it. So, really not too scared. He actually attacks into Raichu, too, so thankfully he didn't go for Poison Jab into Koko. That's what I was more scared of. Because now I'm just going to get a free switch in, and depending on what they have in the back, I think it just win with Celesteela. They actually have Tapu Koko left, so we're actually in a pretty solid position. Now, I could just Thunderbolt and Dragon Pulse into Muk, but their Berry will most likely bring them out of range of my combination of attacks, barring if I get a critical hit on Thunderbolt. So I think I'm just going to play it slow here. I'm just going to go for Sludge Bomb onto Koko and another Dazzling Gleam. Because, like I said, Celesteela beats Muk here. They actually go for a Thunderbolt into Goodra, so maybe they predicted a Protect or something. But on my side, I don't have a reason to Protect. Because if they, like, hard predict or double into one of my Mons, then that just, like, gets rid of so much of my momentum. So, not a particularly, like, good play on my opponent's side, I think. And that KOs Koko, so critical hit too. If they were maybe like Assault Vest, that didn't matter. Or it would have mattered. We survive with the Sash and no poison. Would be good. Okay. Alright, so we win now. This is good. This is a change in pace. This is, you know, it's not nice getting sweeped by someone. It's nice getting, like, a sweep with the offensive team. And they just forfeit. So, yeah, we actually had a good game there. Very quick game so far, too. 14 minutes so far into the video. Which means I'm going to do another battle. Because 14 minutes for the last episode for a season is not very solid, and even though I could end it on a high note right here, the episode just feels way too short. Oh, and I accidentally saved that. Like, I know a lot of people don't like having super long videos because they sort of drag on, but it's like I said, it's the last video of the season. I mean, it resets tonight, and then I could, like, record another episode for the new rating season. But, like, I don't know. I just want to see if I can win another one. Alright, and they're actually running a very scary team. They're running the AFK core, the Arcanine Kartana Feeny core. Very, very scary just because together they have like a Fire Water Grass core. They've got a lot of very good coverage for the metagame. But I don't know. What do I have that's very good against that, actually? I think the biggest threat is that their Porygon could be Conversion or Choice Scarf, so I need to pay attention to that. So I think Raichu... Yeah, I think Raichu and Koko are still going to be pretty good in this match. It just comes down to beating that Muk, which is, like, super scary. Now, I think I almost 100% need to bring Krookodile here. Just because it beats their Muk. And I can go with Goodra too, so... Let's see, if I go with Celesteela, my issue is going to be dealing with their Porygon Z. Do I want to go Koko? No, I'm going to go Tapu Lele. Even though it's, like, slightly worse against Muk, I think the bulk will be very good here with the Intimidate with Lele. If you don't know, because I know it's probably been a few episodes since I've actually brought Lele. Oh my god, and I just realized I actually have no item on Lele still. Someone said that in the comments the other day, but I probably have a no item Lele right now. Alright, and they lead Gastrodon Arcanine, so this is actually a very solid lead matchup for me. They're probably going to be scared of the Fake Out on their Arcanine. Plus the Intimidate on my side is actually very good here. So, first I'm going to check the items because I'm really scared I don't have an item on Lele. And I don't. Oh my gosh. Last episode of the season and I don't have any item on one of my Pokemon. So that's supposed to be a Citrus Berry, which would help a lot here. Straight off the bat, I'm just going to go for a Toxic into Gastrodon. And I'll probably just switch in Tapu Lele here. Actually... Alright, I'm actually going to protect Raichu. And switch into Lele. So this seems like a very weird play. But the reason I'm doing this is... First of all... There's a good chance that their Arcanine might protect here. And if I could, like, if I went for a Z move into it right now, like, if he switched out into Muk or if he protects, that puts me in a very awkward position because it wastes my Z move and I can't KO them the following turn. Thankfully, they go for Protect, though, so that's really good for me. Gastrodon goes for Scald into the Krookodile slot, so this isn't going to do very much to Lele. A burn would suck here, but fortunately, they don't get it. And from the looks of it, their Gastrodon is actually pretty offensive, so... Yeah, this is still a very scary position because he could freely just switch in Muk for Arcanine, which is actually what I'm inclined to predict here. Now, I think just going for a Toxic into Gastrodon is a decent play just because it racks up the damage, and I also don't want to Z-move into Gastrodon in this position. Yeah, I think I'm going to double into Gastrodon. I need to go for a prediction here. And he withdraws Arcanine. Okay. And just like I said, the reason I didn't double target here is I don't think 2 Psychics is going to knock him out. And I don't want to waste the Z-move in this position. But I also want to set him up so that if I end up bringing Krookodile in, like the next turn or something, then I'll have enough damage on Gastrodon that I'll be able to KO it. So he actually has Sludge Bomb! It's going to do a lot of damage, too. And yeah, Toxic's actually going to start racking up, so that's good for us. Now, this is still a super scary position. I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to switch Raichu out for Krookodile, because I think conserving Raichu in the back is a little bit scary for my opponent. Obviously, they expected like a Fake Out or a Z move turn 1, so just switching out means that, like, since they've only seen Toxic so far, they might think that I'm resetting a Fake Out or something. And, I think I'm just going to protect Lele here, too. Because I doubt they're going to Scald into Raichu here. If anything, I think they would Scald Lele and then go for, like, a knockoff on Krookodile. Alright. Gastrodon actually switches out. And he switches out into Arcanine. Why would you switch into Arcanine there? If I went for Psychic, he, like, almost lost his Arcanine. I mean, it was a good switch on their side, like, no doubt. But I don't understand why they would switch out into Arcanine, knowing that I could just Psychic. Not to mention, if I attacked there with Lele in general, that would have put him in a bad position. Alright, now I'm in a scary position again. Yeah, I'm going to protect Krookodile and go for a Psychic into Arcanine. And I guess my main hope is that they don't attack into Lele with Arcanine for some reason, because, like, I still don't understand why they would switch out Gastrodon there. They actually protect too, so they're playing it safe. If they KO me here, that's fine as well. They actually go for protect though, so that's still fine. That's still fine. Alright, and if they burn me here, I'm in a really bad position. Yeah, if I Z-move into Muk here, that's, like, bad for me, sort of. Because it might not KO Muk, and, well, I think it still KOs Muk, but it might not KO Muk. And if he goes for Will-O-Wisp, then it puts me in a bad position straight away. Alright, I'm going to hope that they predict that and, like, attack into Lele or something. They actually switch out Muk, so that's what I was scared of. Yep, into Gastrodon. Okay. I'm still not sure why my opponent switched out their Gastrodon into Arcanine. Because if I Psychicked, then they just, like, no joke, they literally lost their Arcanine there. They're actually slower Arcanine too, so I'm honestly going to be embarrassed if they hit a Will-O-Wisp here, because, like, this is not how this battle should be going. Like, if they know they're a slower Arcanine and they, like, switch openly into attacks like that, then I shouldn't be losing this battle. But that's my fault, because I'm making these plays. They actually go for Flare Blitz, though, so that's actually good. They're going to recoil themselves a bit, which is always nice. Alright, let's see. So I can't one-shot the Arcanine anymore, barring a critical hit. And if it brings in Muk, I'm scared to bring Raichu in. I have to bring Raichu in, though. Alright, they just bring out Muk again, so I think my best hope of winning here is switching out Krookodile to reset Intimidate, and it also gets rid of the Intimidate on my Krookodile. Now, the Muk is obviously stupid scary to beat right here. I mean, maybe they expect a Fake Out this turn is something I can hope. Because at the very least, like, if they snarl and I switch in, like, I'm not losing my Raichu. At the same time, I can understand why they wouldn't protect, though, because they're not super scared. Alright, protect from Muk. Hopefully no snarl. Oh, and they actually have the Fire Z move, so that's probably going into Krookodile's slot, so that's actually good for me. Now we know they're not Citrus Berry or anything. And we also know that they don't have they can't use a Z move on another Pokemon either. So, like, yeah, if he attacks into Goodra, that's really good. If he attacks into Raichu, that makes absolutely no sense because Flare Blitz would still knock out there. But okay. Alright, I'm actually fine with this position now because his Muk just protected. Krookodile's unintimidated, plus both of his Pokemon are intimidated. The question is what he has in back. There's a good chance it could be Tapu Fini, which is very scary. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. This first turn, I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse into Arcanine, because I don't want to get intimidated, first of all. Or, sorry, I don't want to get Will-O-Wisp, first of all. Just because, like... Yeah, because I would be in such a bad position if that happened. Arcanine, Flare Blitz into Goodra. I still, like, again, I don't really understand that. Maybe they do have the Fini in the back. Or maybe Kartana or something. That'd be a good reason for them to attack my Goodra here. Alright, now they're definitely in Earthquake range. And why would they double up into Goodra here? They almost certainly have to have Kartana in the back now. Alright, we're not going to Earthquake ourselves yet. Actually, should we Earthquake ourselves, is the question. That answer would be no, because I think we lose if we do that. So, oh my god, this is such a bad match. But see, that like there's a lot of plays here that I'm not really understanding why my opponent would go for. Which, like, again, that's sort of the side effect of me being slightly unfamiliar with my team, I guess. Like I said, there's a lot of things in the meta that weren't in the meta when I made this team. I mean, it's only been a month since I made this team, but the meta has already shifted drastically. There's things like Muk, which are super popular. Kartana, Arcanine, Fini cores are also extremely popular. Alright, and they do actually have Kartana in the back, so I just lose. Yeah, I have absolutely no way to win in this position. They just attack Goodra with Kartana and win. Yeah, and my only way to win here is to hope that they misplay. If they Leaf Blade into Krookodile and Flamethrower KOs their Kartana, then I'm pretty sure I win. But they have absolutely no reason not to attack Goodra here. Maybe if they go for, like, Shadow Sneak and it doesn't KO my Goodra, which is definitely a possibility. Yeah, and they just protect. They had no reason not to, so... Yeah, we're going to lose this match, unfortunately. Like I said, we could have ended on a high note, but I decided to play another match. Another healthy reminder of the issues with Best of One, but, like... I mean, I think the issue isn't as much Best of One as it is my team just not being very good. But like I said, I have other teams I'm going to be using for the next season of Battle Spot, and hopefully we'll be able to actually, like... use a good team, is what I'm trying to say. Like, these first two teams really haven't been super good. There's a lot of issues with them. Like, there's a lot of things that they just don't cover well. There's a lot of issues with my team in Best of One situations because, like, my answers to certain Pokemon are very weak to things that are just naturally on teams nowadays. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this first season of Battle Spot, guys. 10th episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give you the usual blibber blab. If you enjoyed the video, please go and leave me a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to keep up with my videos as we head towards the future, make sure you check out my social media in the description and hit subscribe. I'm ModernGamer. I'm getting a new team for next episode.